I swear sometimes the only time men will actually step up into being a dad is if they're a single dad. This is so common. So many divorced women I know, the only reason why they're the fathers of their children are doing literally anything to parent those children is because they left them. And so, and if they have joint custody, right? It's different. I think a lot of dads who are like weekend warrior dads, or like every other weekend, like my dad was, is like, cool, I just get to like do whatever I want on the weekend. And then these two are with me and they'll just have to sit here and watch me do the stuff I want to do. All right. Like, it's just about fun. But with the women that I know who have joint custody, where they're like 3 days on, 4 days off, or whatever it is, almost all of them are kind of amazed that these men that they married, that they then had to divorce, actually could parent once the woman was not in the house to do it all for them. And that is the only thing that pushed them into being a good parent, was not having a woman to default to. Now, obviously not all dads. I know plenty of dads who are really great fathers, but that's because I tend to hang out with men who are more evolved anyway, who understand patriarchy or working on understanding it so that they stop exploiting the women in their life. But what's funny is like, even some of these dads who actually do step into parenthood in terms of like putting the kids to bed, feeding them, taking them to school, picking them up from school, even still, they put all of the administrative and planning and all that crap on the women, right? Like several single moms I know are like, God, he forgot to pay money at the canteen, which is like the cafeteria here in France. So now I have to go deal with this thing because he forgot to do this thing with the school. Even then they're doing the whole like weaponized incompetence BS to make sure that the mom is still doing more work. But given all of that, these single moms are living their best lives, man. They are party animals. They are so free now because they get days off. A lot of these single married moms never get a days off because they're married to these dudes who exploit them and make them the default parent, even though they both earn an income. She oftentimes earns more, and they just won't do it. They won't do it. And the only thing that will force their hand into parenting instead of just being sperm donors is literally leaving them and making them be single dads. And the funny thing is a lot of these men, that's why they go out and look for a new wife, because they're like, crap, this sucks having to actually be responsible for the children that I helped make, that I said I wanted. Good, this just isn't fun. I'll go find myself a wife, a stepmom, to do all of this for me. And that's one reason why I did not date men who had kids. So many, especially if you go on a date with a man who is a single dad, ask him how long he's been single. I bet you like so many of these men, they've been single for like a month, 3, They want a wife. Even the men who don't do that, that don't find a new woman to come in and just take over, because it was never really about the woman herself, but rather what she did for him. So they can easily find a replacement because they don't even see us as human beings who have our own dreams and hopes and wants and, autonomy. We're just here to serve men. Even the men who don't do that, how sad is it that the only way they were able to step up and be actual fathers and parents instead of being, having a legend that they leave behind, which is literally just their last name and a bunch of trauma. Like men who want like a legacy, obsessed with this legacy. Your legacy is traumatizing your kids. That's all you gave them was your last name and trauma. That's your legacy. So many men, like, they just won't parent unless they're forced to. And then they're like, I don't understand why my kids don't ever want to talk to me again. I don't understand, like, why none of them will visit me in the nursing home. It's because you didn't do jack. This crisis of lonely men is about to get real bad because so many people my generation are just cutting these dads off. They're like, you know what? Fork you. I'm not taking care of you as an adult when all you did was traumatize me or just never do anything for me. I don't owe you that. I don't owe you that. So they really need to make more, this is going to be a booming business. A place that holds lonely men whose kids won't talk to them. It's going to be a lot. And I'm not laughing because I'm happy about it. I think it's really sad because I see what the men who do step into parenthood, I see such, it's amazing to see. And most men who are fathers miss out on that experience because they're stubborn. and selfish and will not question themselves or the systems of power that make them this king baby, something they didn't even earn. They'd rather be right, they'd rather dominate, they'd rather get what they want and do nothing than question themselves and experience love. What a shame.